Monday Night Football. The Denver Broncos are on the road to take on the Buffalo Bills. My two favorite picks are on the way. Before we dive into that, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. Let's do a recap from Sunday. It was a 4-2 day. Let's talk about it because we had some really close winners in there. Christian McCaffrey's over in rushing plus receiving yards was not a close winner. He nearly hit that over in just rushing yards alone as the 49ers bounce back in a big way in Jacksonville. Austin Eckler's receiving yards, another free leg. Now, the two ones of winners that were close, Lamar ends with 41 rushing yards on the dot, and Tank Dell should have probably closer to like 75, 80 yards, ended with 56. So I know the lines change. It's annoying winning a pick that I give out, and then the line change, and then it goes in that weird gap. Whatever. The two losers, DeAndre Hopkins probably should have hit. He just did not catch any of his deep balls. Then Michael Thomas got injured in that game. But either way, let's try to move on, and let's try to have a 2-0 Monday Night Football and hopefully on a good note moving into Thursday NFL. Before we dive in, Sleeper does have a free square, and we've talked about them before. They like to do free squares for new users only. They have one for Josh Allen to get 1 yard. Look, Josh Allen's going to get 1 yard. I guarantee you that. And if you want to sign up, new users will get that free square if you sign up with our code COS or the top link in the description. Later on in this video, I have a Sleeper entry trying to turn $30 into over 300, so definitely check that out and stay tuned for that. Sleeper, we love them. They always do these free squares for these primetime games for all new users, so take advantage of that if you are a new user. But let's dive into my first pick, and it involves Josh Allen because we were talking about him in the first pick. I'm taking Josh Allen of the Bills, 2+ passing touchdowns. There's over 1.5 in the Bills money line. Same game parlay -119 on FanDuel. Now, Josh Allen's over in passing touchdowns at 1.5 is like -160, -180 on most books, so no value taking it alone. But throwing in Bills money line here, kind of two correlated legs, -119. I like that. On DraftKings, you're getting -120. Bet365 is -125. Caesars -127. So everyone kind of sandwiched in this similar gap. But let's talk about why I think Josh Allen is going to get 2 touchdowns and why I think the Bills are going to win this game at home, taking on the Broncos. Now, so far, Josh Allen, 18 passing touchdowns this season, does have 6 rushing touchdowns in his 9 games played. He has 2+ in 6 of 9 games, and he's had 2+ TDs. When he's done that, the Bills are 4-2 in those games. Now, you look at the Bills, this is a team that is coming off a loss in their last game, and they're like, the only annoying part here would be if Josh Allen got some rushing touchdowns, which he does have 6 of on the season, but I certainly think he could get a rushing touchdown and still get 2+ passing touchdowns. But either way, the Bills back at home, where they are 4-0 this season. They've been a really good home team, not just this year, last year, and really under Josh Allen. They've been a really good home team. Bills Mafia stands up, and it's tough for an opposing team to come in there and beat them, and we've seen them 4-0 this season. The Bills are also 3-0 after a loss, which they lost last week to the Bengals, and so I think the Broncos are running into not a great spot. Now, but the Broncos have looked better these last 2 weeks than at their bye week, but they're running into just an angry football team, which is the Buffalo Bills, that just rarely loses 2 games in a row. And I just find it hard to believe the Broncos could go in there and beat them outright. And we've seen since 2021, the Bills 18-5 straight up, just winning at home, 10-2 straight up after a loss. So this is a team that's bounced back really good and bounced back really well, and also played really well at home too. And we look at Josh Allen, 2+ passing touchdowns in all 3 games this season after a loss. So they've just been really good after a loss this year, and so has Josh Allen. I mean, they go hand in hand. Josh Allen has to play well typically for this team to win. And we've seen Allen, he's played just as well at home. There's a reason they're 18-5 straight up. You look at their last 22 home games for Josh Allen, he's thrown 50 touchdowns over that time span, 2+ touchdowns in 16 of 22, and the Bills are 14-2 when he throws 2 or more touchdowns. Look, they're going to lose a lot of games if he's not throwing 2 touchdowns, so I like the track record here. When he throws 2 touchdowns, it only correlates to a Bills victory, and the Broncos defense, well, it has looked better lately. It did not look good the first 6 weeks of the season. Looked better these last few weeks, but I'm still not sold on him. 5 of 8 quarterbacks this season have 2 or more passing touchdowns. 2 of the 3 that went under, well, 2 of them were Patrick Mahomes, which is very odd. The other was Zach Wilson. So, look, I don't know what they had against Patrick Mahomes. They had his number the last week they played him. They kind of played him like 2 straight weeks with a mini other team in between. So, either way, I think Josh Allen dominates. If he gets a couple rushing touchdowns, I'll be in pain, but I really do think he gets 2 passing touchdowns, and I'll take my chances that correlates with the Bills' victory. So, Bills Mafia, I'm on your side. I need you guys to win. I don't care if you cover the 7 points or whatever you're getting. Give me 2 touchdowns from Josh Allen passing, not rushing, and give me the Bills on the money line. Now, my second pick is going to be another Bills wide receiver. I will talk about a couple Denver Broncos props I did look at in my analysis in my sleeper entry, but it is this guy, Gabe Davis, over 38.5 receiving yards, -110 on DraftKings. Now, personally, when the lines change, I'd play this up to 40.5. I don't think the line goes that much higher. I don't think a ton of people are going to sit back and be like, oh, I want to bet on Gabe Davis on Monday Night Football, but I think he's a good guy to bet on. I think he returns home with a nice little 1 unit for us. And when we look at last week for Gabe Davis, not a great week. Let's talk about him. Gabe Davis, 93% of snaps. He was out there a lot. He ran 41 routes, and what did he get? 2 total targets from Josh Allen, a big 4.9% target share, 0 receptions, and 0 yards. Yeah, I mean, this has been the Gabe Davis experience. You have him in fantasy football, you know exactly what I mean. Some games are great, some games are terrible. It's like you never know what you're going to expect. And this was a week removed from the game. He had 9 receptions for 87 yards. So he just was not involved last week. I'd be surprised if that's the case. I mean, you saw last week Diggs, 86 yards. Kincaid had 81 yards. He had 10 receptions. And Khalil Shakir, he had 57 yards of his own. So, it was just a game that, Gabe Davis just wasn't getting the right winning on his routes, and he just didn't get it done. But I just would be surprised if he did not get some more targets and receptions this week. I mean, he's normally been a very good player at home, especially this season, and I expect him to get the ball early and often. We've seen them do that when he has bad games. And this season, while Gabe Davis has 40-plus receiving yards hitting this over in only 4 of 9 games, he's had now 4 games with 2 or 4 fewer receptions. And in the game following that, he had 6 receptions for 92 yards, 3 for 61, and 9 for 87. So when he has a dud of a game, they normally get back to giving him the ball. And while the Broncos defense has been better, if there's one thing they're going to try their best to do, it's going to be to slow down Stephon Diggs, because we know how talented Stephon Diggs is. So I think at the end of the day, they're going to slow down him, maybe double team him, and we're going to see Gabe Davis get a ton of one-on-one opportunities, and maybe they even throw some screens to Gabe Davis where they just have blockers in front of him, given that they're trying to put 2 guys over on Diggs' side. So I do think that we're going to see Gabe Davis have a pretty good game. The books do expect him to have a decent one. Gabe Davis is over 2.5 receptions, a week removed from getting 0, is like minus 160, minus 185 on sharper books. He's 4-1 to the over in receiving yards when he does have 3+ receptions. So when he gets the ball, he's going to hit the over more often than not. We also look at Davis. He's played a lot better at home. He has 3+ receptions in 11 of his last 12 home games, all since last year, including all 5 this year. He has 3 or more receptions. And when he gets that, he's over this line in 9 of 12 such home games. So I really would be surprised if he went back-to-back games without seeing the rock. Now, this is a guy we know in Gabe Davis can do it in one play. Could do it 2, could take 9 receptions. I don't know how he gets it done, but he has a big play potential there. I think he gets a lot of one-on-one coverage tonight, and hopefully he secures one for a big catch and will take it home with just one 40-yard reception. That'd be cool, but if he wants to take a couple receptions to get it done, I'll take that either. I really like Gabe Davis in a bounce-back performance on Monday Night Football at home. Give me his over 38.5 receiving yards. And finally, let's wrap it up with our sleeper entry reminder. They have that Josh Allen free square for 1 yard only for new users, but make sure you sign up with our code COS, top link in description. You also will get a 100% deposit match up to $100. You can put $50 deposit that, they'll match it. They'll give you another $50. $100 to match it. You get another $100 off $200. So take advantage of that. Here's my entry. Includes a couple legs. We've already talked about a couple. We haven't. I have Josh Allen's over in passing touchdowns and Gabe Davis over in receptions. Kind of tweaked his thing. I think he gets 3 receptions. Hopefully he gets the yards too. But I think the receptions is obviously a little safer. It's like minus 160. Now the other ones I didn't talk about, I'll touch on them in a second. Sutton, I like his over in receiving yards. Everyone wants to target Jerry Jeudy, but I like Sutton a little bit better. And so does Russell Wilson. It feels like they throw deeper passes to him, and I think he can go get it done. The Bills secondary kind of struggled the last few weeks, so Sutton would be my lean on the Broncos side, as well as Javonte Williams under in rushing yards at 55.5. Javonte's been really good these last 2 games, but they obviously had positive game script there. I don't necessarily think they get great game script here. I think the way you attack this Buffalo Bills defense is throwing it to your running back, so maybe Javonte gets a good game in the air, but I don't know if he gets like a lot of rushing yards. It's a tough matchup. And then Dalton Kincaid under 5.5 receptions, a little bit juiced here if you were to take it on the books, but after coming off 10 receptions, I don't think he gets that many receptions this week. We've seen actually this Broncos defense be pretty decent against tight ends. I mean, sure, Travis Kelce had like 6 receptions and 9 receptions against them, but Travis has a much bigger target share in this offense, in his offense, than you see for a guy like Dalton Kincaid. So, boom, we're going to take that. We're trying to turn $30 into $300. That is my sleeper entry. Let me know your favorite picks down below. Gabe Davis, we're your number 1 fans. Throw a touchdown if you want to throw a big touchdown to Josh Allen. To Gabe Davis, we'll take that. Get 2 touchdowns, though, and Bills money line. Let's go 2-0. Let's dominate Monday Night Football and a profitable week. I'll see you guys back again in our other videos when they are live, like our NBA Best Bets videos. I'll link them up on the screen once that is the case in the mornings. It's Austin. I'm signing out. See you guys in the next one. Peace.